Classic Conte, Gab?
I'm frankly befuddled, and I'm wondering whether he's trying to sort of play five-dimensional chess here or something, because he cannot use to come out and say, oh, now I understand what the club's vision is. Oh, really? Because, you know, if only there was somebody working at the club who was the director of football, who you've known for 15 years and who hired you for the job, who might have explained it to you. That would be Fabio Paratici. I'm going to go out on a limb. I wasn't in the room, but I'm going on a limb and say, and then suggest that when Paratici spoke to Conte, he said, oh, look, our owner, Levy, you know, he likes to build slowly with kids and so on. He's not going to go and cut £100 million checks. I would hope that Paratici explained it to him, or that Conte could have done some Googling beforehand on Tottenham's situation. When he comes out and he says, this is the other thing which really gets me, you know, stuff that you say in one country gets picked up in another country. When you come out and you say that you lost 4 important players in January and you only brought 2 players in, I'd love to know who those 4 important players are, because as far as I know, you're talking about Dele Alli, who he didn't like. You're talking about Ndombele, who he liked even less. These are guys who didn't play very much. You're talking about Brian Heel, who made a total of 0 starts under Conte. So who are all these important players who left? They are Kane and Son, and you know those guys are still there, right? So I don't understand if he's trying to go and he thinks Levy's going to respond well to this and be like, oh, Conte's upset. You know, I better give him assurances I'm going to spend in the summer or what? You knew what you were getting into. People believed in you. Now go ahead and do the best you can with this group of players.
What a mess, Don.
I think it's a classic case, Dan, of the manager, Antonio Conte, deflecting away from 3 losses on the spin. We talked on the show the other day, me and Craig, about would you trust Tottenham to beat Wolves? And we all said no. Look what happened there. And I think he's deflecting, probably afraid of what's happening at the weekend when they've got Man City. And I think he's probably just getting his ducks in a row, trying to prepare for a walloping against Man City. And then the bigger questions are going to come. Does he stay on in the summer? Because the noises that he's making doesn't suggest to me that he's overall happy and going to be happy to stay on, because, as he said, the project's not the same between him and Daniel Levy. But as Gab said, he would have known this all along.
The guy that beat him, I might be wrong, I'm back and think about signings, but Bruno Lage came in to Wolves. I don't think there's been many signings, to my knowledge. Lost Traore to Barca. All right, he wasn't playing regular under him. But he's talked about coaching.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of his interviews, he's talked about what he's trying to do and his coaching and stuff. And they're not out of the running to get in this top 4. I mean, they're very organised. You know, I've said quite a lot. I don't think Conte's a bad coach. No, I'm not saying that for 1 minute. I've always been concerned, and I think most of the boys have, about the longevity of this.
Yeah.
And I've always felt that a different approach to somebody like, for example, and I keep saying this, a longer term approach for Spurs, if this is their mentality, with somebody like Graham Potter, who I firmly believe will eventually move from Brighton, who are an excellent club and they run well, but I think he will step up, and I think it's a longer term approach.
Right.
It's a more patient approach, and I just don't think Conte has the patience for this kind of management of a football club when others are going out there spending. And even though he is a good coach, I think he wants to coach and spend, not just the first part. And I think at Tottenham, you're probably only going to get the first part in the main.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.